Gourmet jerk chicken Alfredo. Let's get into it, guys. I know it looks yummy. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be making one of my favorite meals, jerk chicken Alfredo, but today I'm going to gourmet it up a little bit. I'm going to try something different, but it's going to come out amazing. So let's get into this recipe. Here I have my ingredients already laid out. I have some parsley flakes for garnish, and I put this on my chicken to give it some color. And my jerk sauce, of course. This is the money maker. It's very spicy, very delicious. If you can't handle too much spice, I recommend doing the mild version because it's not as much of a kick, if you know what I mean. And then I have my heavy whipped cream. This will be my base for my sauce. It is nice and creamy. I like to make my sauce from scratch because that's the best way to do it. And I have my fettuccine here. I'll be using this today. Now you can do panini noodles and you can switch it up a little bit, but today I'll be doing fettuccine because we're aiming for gourmet. So let's see. I also have some Parmesan cheese grated. I use this kind because it's already grated and I don't want to have to grate it. You can, but I prefer not. It's tedious. And if you get the ready shredded version, they tend to have chemicals on them to prevent them from clumping together. And when you're making a sauce, that's what you want. You want the cheese to bind together with your sauce. So don't use the pre-shredded. Either shred it yourself or use the grated. Okay. Now I also have this 3-cheese blend with Romano, Asiago, and Parmesan. Yes, 3-cheese blend. This is something different that I'm trying. I'm sure it's gonna add more flavors to the sauce already. I already love it. So we're gonna see what these 2 extra cheeses are gonna add to this. And I have about a 1/4 stick of butter, some garlic, onion powder, garlic powder, and then my cleaned and pat dry chicken breast. So let's get into cooking. Okay, now to get started on this recipe. First, I'm going to put my noodles. I already boiled my water and salted, so we're gonna put them in. I'm going to half them. I cheat. Don't get mad at me. I know people debate on whether to put whole pasta in the pot or to half it, but I'm gonna break it in and put it in there. So. Okay, now that my chicken is all seasoned with the jerk seasoning, the onion powder, the garlic powder, and the parsley flakes, about a teaspoon of each. Teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of each. I will be searing my chicken. So my pot should be about hot. I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and put my chicken in there because it's pretty long. Skin side down. Then as it's in there, I'm gonna add in some butter. Butter helps with color, so that's why I use it. Pop some butter in there, pop some butter in there, pop some butter in there, pop some butter in there. Should want to stir it for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. That should be good. Okay, it got a little smoky in here because we're dealing with high temperatures, but I promise nothing is burning. My chicken is nice and seared, so we got this nice, beautiful golden color. A nice char on the chicken. Because you're dealing with jerk, it can burn easily because it's pepper. And at high temperatures, but at the same time, the flavors you get from those high temperatures are just perfect, honestly. So bear with me, but that's the color you want to get, and I'll show you guys a closer look when it comes out of the pan. Okay, now that my first two are done, we're gonna put in the last two. I have to turn my heat down. This is how the first two came out. Nice and char grilled, beautiful. So we're hoping for the same outcome with this too, even though I had to turn the heat down because the smoke alarm kept going off. Essentially, this is how you want your chicken to come out. Nice and char grilled, crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and a golden color. It's okay if it has a little bit of a burnt because that's just char. It's not burnt. Alright, now I'm gonna work on my sauce. While my chicken sears to multitask, I will be cutting up about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. This will be, it'll go in my sauce as like a little base. Garlic adds a lot of flavor, so that's why I really appreciate it in my Alfredo. If you're wondering, yes, I can cut on here. It is wooden. Just gotta be careful. So you want to mince your garlic up as tiny as possible because you don't want to bite into any garlic chunks as you're eating your Alfredo. I personally prefer fresh garlic over the pre-minced garlic at the grocery store because to me it doesn't have the same flavor. It can come off as pickled garlic. To me, it'll taste like pickled garlic. And why use pickled garlic when you can use fresh garlic? The flavor components aren't the same, so fresh garlic it is. Alright, now my chicken should be ready to. Beautiful. Don't want that smoke alarm to go back on. Now my garlic is nice and minced. We are ready to start our sauce. Once our chicken is done, it'll go in. Now all my chicken is seared. This is what it should look like. Nice, crispy, delicious. Now we're gonna work on the sauce. So I have my minced garlic here. I'm adding it back to the pan that had the chicken in it. We want to keep the flavors from the bottom, from the chicken. All of it will turn out really nicely in our sauce. Okay. So now garlic is nice and I'm gonna get a light color to it. I don't know why I'm using a whisk. Not too much of a color, just enough to toast it lightly. I'm gonna add in some heavy whipping cream, creamy base for our sauce. I did forget to add butter. Bad shit. So we're gonna improvise here. Just try to melt it down as best as possible. But as you keep stirring it, you should see that the bits at the bottom loose up and they blend in with your sauce. That's how you know that you're doing it right. If not, then you may have a little problem. Now, growing up when I was little, jerk chicken Alfredo, I used to make it every week non-stop. That is why I barely make it now, because my family's tired of it. But I would say I somewhat mastered it because I used to cook it so much so that I developed different ways that I like it the most. Like I used to cut up the chicken, season it, and then put it in. And then I was like, nah, it's a little chewy. I don't like it this way. Now I use the whole chicken breast. I sear it, get it nice, crispy, and golden on the outside. and I realized I like it better that way. I also sometimes choose to cut up the chicken after it's cooked like this into little chunks or lengthwise so that I can get the nice rustic look to it and presentation wise. I think we're gonna do that this time, but there's so many different ways to do it, and I've just learned over the years. It's definitely one of my favorite meals. Okay, now our butter is melted. Whoops! You want to put your butter in before you put your garlic in. I wasn't paying attention, so, but now we're caught up. Okay, the butter's nice and melted. Now we're gonna add in some heavy whipping cream. You could do, how much is in here? I would say about 1.5 to 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, depending on how big your how many people you're serving, depending. We like stuff saucy over here, so I'm gonna go with 2 cups. Another trick you can do to stretch out the Alfredo sauce, if you don't have any more heavy whipping cream, it has happened plenty of times to me. If you have some leftover chicken stock, you can pour that in there. Also, pasta liquid, you can pour that in there. I know I don't really care for pasta liquid unless I need to, like emergency wise, like my sauce needs to be liquid out because it's too thick or I need to stretch it. I personally don't like putting in pasta liquid into my Alfredo sauce, but it's optional. I like mine very, very creamy. Okay, now you want this to come to a simmer, slight boil, and then once it comes to a boil, kill the heat, let it cool a little bit, and then we're gonna add in our cheese. Okay, great. Now my sauce has came to a simmer, a slight boil, and then I turn it off, killed the heat, let it cool, and as you can see, it's a little film. Oops. A little film has filled the top. Once it cools, it'll start to harden and stuff. So now that it's cooled down a bit, I'm gonna add in some Parmesan. We're gonna do about 1/4 cup of this. Make sure to shake it up to get rid of all the clumps. You don't want clumps in your sauce. Please, no clumps. So then I'll put about, put this other way. Say 1/4 cup of Parmesan. And then to balance it back out, we'll do 1/2 cup of this 3 cheese blend. Oh, we got some clumps in there. Okay, great. Looks like a lot of cheese, but it's perfect, trust me. So I'm gonna whisk it around and get rid of all the extra clumps. That's why I have my whisk. And let it thicken up. As the sauce cools and it binds together, it'll thicken, so don't worry too much about it coming off as liquidy at first, because sometimes it takes time to thicken up. Yeah, it's bringing back memory. It's been so long. But yes, a nice smooth consistency is what you want. Also, keep in mind, pasta has starches to it, so as you put that in, it'll also help thicken it up as well. Because this is the way I do my Alfredo now. So you also don't need to make it too thick. Now I say kill the heat because if you're adding cheese to it while it's still hot, the cheese is gonna go all the way to the bottom and it's gonna stick, and then you're gonna have burnt cheese inside your sauce. So you wanna make sure that it's warm, not too hot, because you don't wanna burn your cheese and you don't wanna end up with a grainy sauce. If you do it this way, it should come out right. Also, for flavor, in seasoning wise. If you use the bits from the bottom that you use to pan sear the chicken, use the same pan. Don't scrape it, don't drain it, anything. The seasonings and the flavors from that should be perfect for your sauce. So you shouldn't need to add anything else. Also, keep in mind, the cheese has sodium, the jerk sauce has sodium, so you don't, and then also heavy whipped cream has sodium as well. So you don't need to add any salts, any all-purpose seasoning blends, because if you did it right, like how I did it, with the seasoned chicken and then sear it in here, and then use it for your sauce, it should be perfect. So trust me on this one. Trust me. Put them seasonings back. Put them back. If you got them out, put them back. Put them up. Put them up. We don't need it. We don't need it. We got it right here. Anyway, so nice and thick. Should be not too thick, but enough to be Alfredo sauce. Now I'm gonna add in my pasta noodles to my sauce. Another thing, you don't want to add any oil to your pasta noodles. Yes, it does prevent the noodles from sticking, and in this case it would be very beneficial, but if it prevents the noodles from sticking, it's going to prevent the sauce from sticking to the noodles, and you don't want that. You want the sauce to stick to the noodles so it can all bind together and be very, very nice. So don't put oil on your noodles. Don't put oil in the water to boil your noodles. No oil. Put them up, put it back. Put it up, put it back. No oil. So yes, now I'm going to mix my noodles in the sauce. And start with about half at a time. If you feel like adding too much in, it's too much. Oh my gosh, that looks so freaking good. Okay, I'm gonna add in the rest of my noodles now. I did half them. To me, it's easier. That's optional. You don't have to break your noodles in half. I understand. I understand. I defend the chicken. But for me, convenience-wise, it really does help. As you can see, my noodles are nice and coated in this beautiful Alfredo sauce. And most importantly, I have enough sauce licking out the sides, so that's how you know it's the perfect amount. You didn't make the sauce too thick. You know the sauce is too thick if you don't see any extra sauce in the pan like that. I'll give you a closer look. Oh, I'm always spilling stuff. But yeah, that's how you want that. Okay, now my pasta sauce is all done. We're going to finish up with our chicken. Alright, so now for one of my favorite and fun parts. We are ready to plate. I'm going to take my chicken, put it on this beautiful, clean, fresh cutting board. We're gonna cut it. I'm not sure, is this lengthwise? Cut it like how you would want your meat to be chopped. It's optional. I like mine chopped that way, so we're gonna do that way. I'm gonna chop all of this chicken up. Yes. I also let it rest because you don't want all the juices to come spilling out of it. You want the juices to bind back into your chicken. So let your chicken rest, which it should have if you've done it like how I did it. And that way chicken breast can still be juicy, because most of the time chicken breast can be dry. So that's why we do it this way. Yes. Ooh. Not just like I grilled it. And I didn't. Oh yeah. We'll keep these juices. We'll save them. But this is what the chicken looks like when it's cut up. Nice. Now I'm going to take my plate, some noodles. I'm gonna spin them up, kind very nicely, very nice, very nice. I suck at this part, honestly. It's really come here. It's ready. Yes. Here we go. Try to put a little bit more. Please don't make that. I'm going to choose this one. This one is my favorite. Get nice and on top. Oh my god. If you want, you can pour some extra juices. You can cheat. Yes. Now, I would say fresh parsley is better. I don't have fresh parsley, so we're gonna use these parsley flakes I have. But this is to add color. Color is always best when it comes to plating. Color is appealing to the human eye, so always add color, okay? That's very important. So now, it is gourmet Alfredo pasta. Can you believe it? I am proud, okay? Wow, that is beautiful. Yay! We are all done. And this is what it should look like. Nice and beautiful and yummy. I'm hungry and starving. So is my family. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe below for more. I have lots of this coming soon. And also, let me know any of your ideas of what I should make next. I'm open to all, so please comment below what I should make next. See you guys next time.